On the Health Watch, we are talking about foot health because April is National Foot Health Month. And according to some reports, believe it or not, people are starting to see an increase in people reporting foot pain, especially during the latter stages of the pandemic. The question is why and what can we do about it? Well, joining me now, I'm happy to have Dr. Thomas McDonald from Orthopedic Associates of Hartford, foot and ankle specialist. Doctor, thank you so much for being here with us today. How are you?
Hey, good morning. I'm great. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, glad to have you. And before we get into just talking about general foot health and the do's and don'ts, really curious to see what sort of link there has been to the pandemic in foot health. Is it a direct link or an indirect link? What's going on?
Yeah, Tim, it's been interesting. The pandemic has really affected so much of our life and what we do, and it really does trickle down to the feet, just like a lot of things that we do. You know, I think of the foot and the ankle as kind of the Navy SEAL of our anatomy. You know, it's a highly specialized anatomic piece of us that's designed for impact. It's on the front lines of our mobility, and a lot of times we don't fully know or appreciate just how much they're doing for us until they start to hurt. The pandemic obviously has affected the way we interface with society and our jobs and our pastimes and our hobbies, and you know, our feet and our ankles are at the front line of all of that. So it's been interesting to kind of extrapolate, if you will, the trends of the pandemic from where we sit in orthopedics as we watch people come to us with different versions or different timing of some very common foot and ankle complaints. You know, when the pandemic first broke, our urgent care facilities, the volume there really dramatically dropped, which was great news because people weren't getting hurt, but it also meant that we as a society weren't really out there having fun. And then, you know, as people re-enter activity or find a new activity or a new hobby or take up running or hiking like so many of us did, you know, all of a sudden our feet and our ankles weren't really anatomically ready for that change in our activity pattern.
I imagine that also extends to people who used to say go to the gym and used to run but stopped doing it for a while, thinking they could pick right back up where they left off, and the feet say, whoa, hold on, brother.
Exactly. Yeah, it's so true. You know, there's this pandemic body mass effect that has taken hold of a lot of us, and that weight gain sometimes really does trickle down. There's some anatomic or biomechanic studies that show that you know, 5 pounds of increased weight really manifests as 20 pounds of additional load for our foot during foot strike and gait and impact and running. So it does make a difference.
Okay, so what, I guess, can we do about it? Outside of getting into the most common foot conditions, you just mentioned avoiding excess weight, but how about what are the best ways to try to get back into whatever sort of routines, especially fitness routines you used to have, without sort of jeopardizing your foot health?
Yeah, sure, Tim. You know, I think just like everything, you know, we need to lean on one another, and I think we need to use all the resources around us. So, you know, I can't emphasize enough the important work that people in the orthotic industry do for us, that people in the physical therapy industry do for us. And I think as we're aware or becoming aware of new aches or pains, to really seek treatment, right? I meet a lot of people in my line of work who have been maybe sitting on something that's been brewing and increasingly or progressively getting worse. So I think really asking the question, you know, is there a problem here? Is the first step, being aware of it. And a lot of what I do as a surgeon is actually to provide reassurance that, you know, this is going to be okay. We just need to tweak our mechanics or our stretching.
Yeah, definitely an area where you do not want to just sort of sit and grit it out. Doctor, thank you so much for taking the time to join us to give us a little bit of insight on something I did not think about that was pandemic related. Thank you so much.